Hey Weirdos! It is day 12 of Show Up Weird, and I'm coming to you from my living room today. Today's topic is television that we're obsessed with, and as you may have already gathered from some previous videos, if it involves vampires, zombies, witches, all things spooky and kooky, I probably dig it. And I want to talk about a very specific show that I'm obsessed with for a very specific time and place and reason. Okay, so let's get into it. The show I want to talk about today is this show, Good Witch, from the Hallmark Channel. I know. This is the corniest show. And that's part of why I love it. There's like a soap opera-ness to it. I stumbled across this show one time years ago when I was homesick. And I mean, I was sick. I was recovering from something. I don't even remember. That's not the point. The point is, when I'm sick, I like to watch a very specific kind of television. And this ridiculous show checks all the boxes. It is lightweight, sugar-free. Their stakes are so low. Like, is she magic? Is she not magic? Is she a witch? Is she not a witch? It's always so vague, and it's just sort of sprinkled and hinted at, and it just keeps going and going and going, and no matter what the situation is, it's always very neatly resolved at the end. So there's nothing to stress about, and that is the kind of television I love when I'm sick. So Good Witch, it is just the lore, the comings and goings of the different characters and family members, endlessly entertaining for all the wrong reasons. A couple of years ago, some friends of mine, after I told them, I'm like, there's this weird show that I am so obsessed with. They're like, there's not just a show, there's a whole universe. Before there was a television show, there was a series of Good Witch movies. Turns out all the characters that I fell in love with watching the TV show are like the B cast. There was an A cast. She used to be married to a different guy who died, and there's all these other kids. Like, it is a whole complicated and yet so not complicated Good Witch universe. She lives in this quaint little town that's in some unspecified part of the world. The cast is delightful. The acting is so hyperbolic and over the top. It is the perfect show for when you don't want to think about things too hard. I just love Good Witch. I love it so much. So in doing a little research and digging up pictures for today's video, I found out that the show actually ended a couple of years ago, much to the dismay of the cast and fans like myself. I think there's one season left, and when it hits Netflix, I'm going to be excited to gobble it all up, because I'm sure there's going to be, a Halloween pumpkin carving crisis in there somewhere. But the interesting thing that I learned way too far into my Good Witch journey is that this lady right here, who plays the town's mayor, she is a very determined and hyper-focused and slightly annoying woman. This lady right here is actually connected to a show that I watched in the 80s that I was also deeply and weirdly obsessed with. And that's this show, Forever Night. Does anybody else remember Forever Night? God, I loved this show so much. So the hyper annoying mayor in Good Witch is this lady who was the medical examiner in Forever Night. So if you're not familiar, Forever Night was a show in the 90s about this guy right here, Nick Knight, who's an 800-year-old vampire who's trying to atone for decades of killing humans by becoming a homicide detective working the graveyard shift in Toronto. I swear to God, I'm not making it up. And the only person on the force who knows that he is a vampire is this lady. Natalie, the medical examiner, who becomes his friend and also tries to create a serum that he can take to stop him from being such a vampire because he wants to become human. It's a ridiculous show. Also, that's the janitor from Breakfast Club. He was also in this show, along with some other amazing cast. If you can find it somewhere, I don't think it's streaming anywhere, but if you find the VHS or you can find it somewhere, highly recommend watching this show. I loved it so much. But this awesome lady right here is also this awesome lady right here. So I think that little bit of DNA is probably another reason why I love this show so much. It is my comfort show. It is the thing that I always turn to when I just need my brain to turn off, or I just need a warm, fuzzy, slightly magical blanket to cuddle up in when I'm not feeling good. So, weirdos, tell me, what is your oddly specific TV show that you're obsessed with? What's the thing that you watch all the time, or you keep coming back to, or you watch it over and over and over again as like a feel-good comfort blanket? Good Witch is mine. Ted Lasso is quickly becoming my number 2. That show just feels like a hot cup of tea that Ted would probably spit out. Tell me about your television obsessions. What do you like to watch when you're sick? What do you like to watch when you feel like crap? Or what do you just like to watch because you just like to watch it for whatever weird specific reason you have? Tell me all about it. Thanks. See you next time.